take a look now at last week's news that got South Africans talking on social media. Bell Pottinger's apology and Miss South Africa's use of gloves during a charity event, to name a few, dominated headlines. Well, to unpack how South Africans react on social media compared to the rest of the world, I'm joined via Skype by Tanya Khoury. She's the Managing Director of Media Monitoring Agency ROI Africa. Tanya, a very good morning to you and thanks for your time. Indeed, there wasn't a dull moment over the past week, if not the past couple of weeks, if we have to say that. What were South Africans talking about most?
You know, Rebecca, it never stops to amaze me. We were told there was Gupta fatigue amongst the media landscape over the past couple of weeks, but that's certainly not the case. This week, social media, over the past 7 days, 25.7% of our social media conversation focuses on the Guptas, and a good 17.7% on Bell Pottinger. And that adds to the hashtag that's been trending forever, which is Zuma must fall, coming in at 23.7%. So if you combine those statistics, you get a good 70% of our conversation in the past week.
Just looking at how we are reacting, and obviously I'm sure you're aware, South Africans wanting something to happen with all of this information that comes out. What are they saying? What are they wanting from all of this information that has been surfacing over the past couple of weeks?
Well, I think one of the most interesting things is the Bell Pottinger account and how South Africans rallied from across the country and targeted that particular account to such a point that Bell Pottinger had to protect its tweets or protect the account as a whole. But that didn't stop us. Bell Pottinger must fall became the trending hashtag, and that particular story rose. South Africans even edited the Wikipedia page. So it's almost like there's this social media activism happening against what we're calling state capture. And we're relentless. I think with the Guptas particularly, there's a lot of questions as to why are they still here? Why haven't they been arrested? Why are we still unearthing this stuff? Haven't we got enough? There's that sort of sentiment about the social media community.
And of course, for a little time, we had Miss South Africa and the gloves story, and that got some section of South Africans talking and angry and asking questions, resulting in Miss SA having to also try to defend herself in the middle of all of this. Took up a couple of hours, I think.
Absolutely. More than a couple of hours. Took up 3.2% of our social media conversation last week. And yes, it just goes to show social media can be as scathing as it is generous. The glove stories certainly made headlines, but also turned to humor. And you see this so often amongst the social media community. Miss SA Challenge became the trending hashtag, and you saw all sorts of memes with people using gloves in the most interesting of ways. But that's South African social media for you. We tend to make light of what can be often very serious situations.
Well, locally we were focusing, yes, on Bell Pottinger. It came soon after, the ending of the ANC policy conference, the big one there, and Miss SA. But we also had things like the G20, which started on Friday, starting off with protests. We had Wimbledon, for those who continue to watch it, and I suppose Independence Day, that's big for the US. How did we fare? I mean, looking at what the focus was across the borders to what we were focusing on here at home.
I think internationally we don't compare, unfortunately. There was a time when President Zuma was an international story, not so much at the moment. The G20 summit certainly taking the lion's share over the past week. It closed today 18.4% to that particular story. Strong focus on Trump and also on Angela Merkel, and some serious memes coming out of social media there as well. And then, of course, Wimbledon. Wimbledon just doesn't stop. The conversation and media reporting around Wimbledon is simply enormous. So those are our two biggest stories over the past week.
All right. So, Tanya, going into the new week, what are you seeing this morning? What are people most focused on early on a Monday?
I think internationally we've seen this Camden fire, so this particular story is probably going to extend. You know, London's been plagued by fires recently, so we've seen a few of those. I think that's going to make the top of the charts. I think much more of the same as far as social media is concerned. I see there's a whole bunch of additional Gupta email leaks that have come out this morning and over the weekend. Transnet particularly a focus there, so I expect that also to rise. And yes, the build up to 2019 as we go forward, it's all all politics. It always has been politics, Rebecca, probably for the past 6 months.
Yeah, it's only a Monday. Anything is possible, as we've learned over the past couple of weeks. Thanks very much, Tonya Khoury, Managing Director of Media Monitoring Agency ROI Africa.